we'll go ahead. We'll start this podcast now. You good?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I'm not feeling that guy. Who's that guy?
Who, Kid Cudi?
That's Kid Cudi and Eminem?
Yeah.
Oh no, Eminem.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I wasn't feeling that song.
Really? It's a pretty good song, actually, I think. Actually, you know who told me about the song?
Hunter.
No. Really?
I
What
thought
the
it's the
fuck?
way you're asking the question.
No. Jesse.
Oh.
Yeah. He's into rap now. It's kind of weird. He gets the phases.
Phases, like how he blocks people. And
Really? Get over that
Jesse.
phase. Stop blocking people. Hold on. Before we even start this podcast.
How about, hold on, two things. Can we work on, like, no cussing
Yeah,
today?
yeah. And stuff like, dude, honestly, I dislike your mic right now so much.
Is that better?
No, it's cool. Yeah, anyways. Okay, so wait. What are we talking about now?
Little kids blocking people?
Yeah. Who, honestly, in their right mind, who blocks people?
Crazy people.
And first of all, how do you block people?
You literally can just go do block.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you block somebody? Just so weird.
I want to know what people want to say to me. I'd rather just ignore you.
That's what I do right now. Like, I'm like literally the worst texter in the world. Like right now, oh, sorry.
This is why our podcast isn't making money.
I was telling Jason, I was texting him today, I was like, my bad, bro. I'm like the worst texter in the world. And so, because like he texts me and I'll text him like 3 days later. So it's been pretty shitty lately. So anyways, all right. So let's get with it.
I'm pretty bad myself.
Just because I get bored. Like whenever people like reply to like Instagram or Facebook, like I'm like the worst. Like I acknowledge it. Like I know that like somebody liked something or said a comment, and like I appreciate it. But I'm just so and I know it's the most simplest thing. But if you think about it, you're like, like what do you say? Thank you. That's probably the best way, huh? I'm sorry. I'm gonna get back to people.
That's all, Sal. I don't post. I barely go on.
Okay, but you fucking... I'm sorry. Dang it! That's one.
I don't really actually even go on.
Okay, but you do go into a deep rabbit hole, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you stalk people. That's the problem. That so
I
makes
got
it
down
worse.
A deep rabbit hole today.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, so let's go ahead and
Can
start...
you remind me to tell Kate that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I will. So let's start this podcast. So, obviously...
I liked my intro.
What intro are you talking?
Welcome to Just Another Tuesday on Monday.
No, we're not having your intro.
You still have 4 days of the week left.
The worst ever.
Or worse, you could be Sal and have 5 days.
I do have 5 days. God damn it. That's just...
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's go ahead and start this.
What's up in your life?
Well, obviously.
How's it feel to have herpes?
It feels pretty nice, actually.
Are you in recovery?
I am recovered from herpes right now, so...
Okay. To
so
catch
anyway,
you all up, Sal has tested positive for COVID-19.
I had tested positive. It's a
He
pretense.
has tested.
It's a pretense now at
Whatever.
this point. In some
We're
people's...
like 3 weeks out.
In some people's world, I still have COVID, so...
We're not doing that today.
Oh, no. Oh, we're not doing that. Oh, no. Yeah. I'm not a douche like other people. That's all.
So, Sal's tested positive. We're 3 weeks
I
in the...
had tested positive.
That's what I said.
Okay, just make sure. All right, yeah.
We are in the clear. Doctor's release. I've tested negative twice.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah.
And we've had sex since then, huh? That's another thing. Oh, that's another thing. Just thought about that.
Elevating.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's how you would get COVID, right? Am I right, though? That's the only way you would get it, right?
Stop. Please stop.
Okay, go ahead.
So, how was having COVID-19, Saul?
It was interesting, actually. I think it affects people in different ways, though, and stuff, so.
So, how was not the mental aspect? Because I know the mental aspect was hard for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared that with Kate, who Kate obviously knew because she knows you're a social butterfly. You like to go hang out.
Mm-hmm.
You hate hanging out with my family, but you're bored, so you'll hang out. You know, you hate being separated.
Yeah.
So I know the quarantine was extremely hard.
Yeah.
And I think probably made you borderline depressed, if not actually depressed.
Yeah.
But what about the actual health side of effects of COVID-19?
So obviously, going off of what you're saying, stuff like it is honestly like just being quarantined sucks completely. You know, it's the worst. But um, sickness and having those symptoms, honestly, just like I felt like I was just completely drained. Like you just feel you're exhausted. You know, I definitely for 2 days I was just like I had chills. Like it literally just feels like.
Does it feel any different than a regular cold or flu?
No, honestly, the only thing that changed for me having, well, not even changed, but I think the only thing that I noticed that was different was the taste and the smell. But also is you do lose your taste and your smell when you do have the flu, you know? So it's kind of like that. That's kind of like my confusion with it because it's like, think about it. If people can remember when they had the flu, like your taste buds do go no matter what, you know, like when
Depending.
yeah. But I've always noticed that your taste buds are always gone, you know. So, but the only thing that like made me kind of realize it was kind of more of a serious factor is that obviously like I'm the type of person that like I really don't like to worry anybody and I kind of just keep to myself. Was the breathing factor and stuff. You do feel exhausted, but also I did have a struggle of breathing. That was huge and stuff like that. I did notice that I did actually keep to myself a lot of times and stuff like that. But there were some nights that I would just like sit there and like I have to maneuver a certain direction or move something like that. Going up the stairs, I'm just like I'm struggling to breathe like really bad. I even tried to run and I really couldn't. You know, that was my biggest.
I can't breathe, so let me go run. Makes a lot
Well,
of sense. I get it. You were testing.
no. I was just testing it out, and because I'm the type of person that it's gonna be like, I'm gonna push the limits in a sense, So, yeah, that was my biggest thing. So, it was the breathing part of it that really kind of was like the it factor, and I'm like, damn.
So can you imagine, like, I would say for the most part, you've had it pretty mild. That, like, if, can you imagine, like, the people that die from COVID? In that breathing, like, literally you restricted can't breathe eventually.
Most people, yeah, that's all they do. Well, even like I was even talking to my sister about it. I'm like, dude, like you have asthma, like that's the scary part. Like if she got it, she would struggle to breathe.
Who has asthma?
Lisa.
Okay.
And stuff. So she struggles to breathe and stuff like that. So, but it's a struggle, Like it. Why are you surprised that she has asthma?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know she has asthma, so it's that's
like,
the only struggle.
Recently?
She's always had asthma.
Like since you were a kid?
Yeah. Also, my sister's always been dramatic, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can move on with that.
Yeah. She's always been dramatic, so. But that's and that was my biggest thing with this. It was, I wasn't trying to be dramatic. That's why I didn't worry anybody. Like, why I wasn't telling you, oh hey, I can't breathe. I can't do this. I can't I didn't worry anybody. I think the only day that I really.
Did you have in your head a point of, like, did you set yourself up with a point of, if I get to this point, I'm going to maybe have to go to the doctors?
No, I never.
Or I'm gonna have to tell somebody.
I never thought about it that way, actually.
Like you didn't set that parameter in your head.
No, I kind of knew that I was gonna be fine. I didn't. I think a lot of it's mental though too as well. Physically, yes, I get that I was worn out, this and this, and
I think a lot of it was mental for you.
Yeah.
Not discrediting that you weren't sick, but knowing your behavior and how much you feed off people, I think that isolation really created depression.
Yeah, I know that definitely doesn't survive because it was funny because right after I got out of quarantine, I'm like, dude, let's go hang out with people, and I was just like, after I was like completely clear, and I was not hanging out with people, but I was more just like, hey,
the little things that you would be annoyed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You were like, oh no, I'm on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? Like on that same note, so a client told me this probably 3 or 4 months ago, the peak of quarantine, March, April, don't leave your home, whatever. She was like, she had come in probably May or something, and she was, chatted with us a little, and then she's like, can you imagine for a single lady whose spouse has passed, like, being in quarantine? Like, how depressing that is? Like, or a single male, just being a single person in quarantine stinks,
Yeah.
She's like, those social gatherings of, I'm on this committee or that committee because it's my social interaction. Like, I did Zoom meetings with a couple ladies because it was, all of us in the same boat. Right. But it really, like, made me sad.
Yeah.
I think we might have actually talked about this.
Yeah. No, it is honestly just being isolated completely. If you actually do it the right way, you're being isolated and stuff like that. So, but it did make me appreciate small things, hanging out with, the little ones, and that was really huge, especially, being away from Zeke. That really, really sucked, not being able to hang out with them, not able to hold them. That was that was hard for me. That was really a struggle and stuff like that. But definitely getting back, and that's why I've been trying to push when we've been back, and I've been clear from quarantine and stuff like that. It's that's what I want. That's why I appreciate hanging out with the little ones and stuff like that, and making more of an effort for things that did annoy me. Because as much as I love hanging out with your family, sometimes it did get to the point that I'm like, oh my god, we're hanging out with them again, really?
And I'm sure it will get back there again.
It will, but it is an appreciation and stuff. Like today, hanging out with your dad. That's honestly, I want people to hang out with him. I want people to be like a fly in the wall, and to have conversation. And I think that's what it comes from. A lot of people say, talk to people that have gone through life and have had experiences and things in that sort. And because your dad's one of those key people that he has an opinion, but also he has a reasonable I guess balance of thinking, that he just look, if it's a big deal, I'm gonna make a big deal about it. Your dad's a very, to the point, I think he's a very left person, right? So, but also he can be on the right and have that balance too as well. So he has a pretty good balance of understanding that doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense, but also holding his opinion and sitting back. That's why I during this quarantine stuff, because you have a lot of downtime. So realizing that it sucks for a lot of people that we do hang out with that are afraid to even talk about anything. Even in this podcast and stuff, I get it. It's fucking. I'm sorry, I almost cursed.
It's too.
Yeah, it is too. But we don't, obviously we're not big or anything. We're not anything crazy. But also, it sucks that you can't even voice your opinion, because we literally around so many intelligent people to have those conversations. And it sucks that you can't voice your opinion without being judged, and it sucks, But
that's where we live this day and age. It doesn't matter the group we are, or, and maybe I should care a little more, but I feel like anything this day and age you say, whether you're like, oh, that wall is blue, it'd be like, no, that wall is green, and it turned into a bigger thing.
Right.
So I can respect why people don't want to do it. Does it stink that everything these days is twisted? Yes, absolutely.
Because I was having your conversation with your dad, and I remember when we first started dating, your dad always asked me, and I know it wasn't racist or anything like that. He would just say, so, what would he do? He's like, so, you'd rather be called Mexican, or what would you like, and I knew what he was coming from, and it never really offended me, because I told him today, I was like, I'm first generation, obviously Hispanic, but also is that I'm so diluted into not being Hispanic in a sense. I know where, my family come from, and
you're so diluted that sometimes I have to remind myself that you are first generation.
Yeah.
That's how diluted you are. But Joel's not first generation, right?
No, Joel's your typical Texan, his family.
His grandma Zora was first generation or no?
No, they're from Texas.
They're not originally from Texas.
Okay, well,
Joel, I need you to call this
they
the
were
podcast.
they were technically, well, if you think about it, Texas has always been in a sense their own area. So yeah, at one point they were owned by Mexico, but they've never ever like been like, hey, we're on this side of the border. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they've always been on the Texas side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're called not no, are they called Chicanos? I don't know. Texas people, Hispanic people are just weird. Not weird, but they have a different. They're different from a California Hispanic person. No, I don't know. But you had firsthand when they're barbecue. So there's a huge difference between.
Okay, but that's barbecue.
No. But there's a huge difference between Hispanic person in Texas and Hispanic person in California. Mm-hmm. Huge difference. But yeah, no. Obviously, by then they're very diluted in a sense. They're very Americanized. But where were we going with this? Oh, your dad. It doesn't offend me, but it's to the point that it might offend others. And I was telling him, like, you might talk to a really a person that's Hispanic that might take it a different way. I believe like one of my uncles would have probably been offended and said, look at, what do you mean he's calling me Mexican? I'm not Mexican. It's like, it's stuff like that it's like, it's a different time, from verbiage, and your dad's always, that's why you're talking about your dad. Your dad's always trying to learn. Your dad's always trying to change, and
Dad has poor delivery.
He does.
Like he's asking you the question so that he can learn and better call you what you want to be, for the lack of a better way of saying it.
Shit, your dad will say, "Hey, you want to be called a."
How he asks the question usually offends you, right. So you can't get much further.
And you learn that from the years and stuff like that. So I've learned that with him is that you literally learn.
Takes some people decades.
Yeah, and stuff, but yeah, no, and it sucks though because people just don't understand. Times change, It's different from the 90s, it's different from the 80s, and don't fault anybody because I had an opinion about something in the 80s or the 90s and stuff. I think it's really ridiculous. Like, let's stop picking and choosing battles on what I said, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, everything was different, so you're going to fault me because I said something, 10 years ago. You're going to pull my stuff up 10 years ago. It's kind of just like, dude, let's move forward. We're being progressive now. We're moving forward, and it sucks.
It's funny because where I feel we are in a day and age of how people just rip people apart is like, I feel that someone would rip you apart for saying that whatever someone said years ago was okay. Mm-hmm. Like, I get what you're saying. If it was racist, it wasn't racist. Whether it happened 10 years ago, maybe they progressed and are a better person, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like people would attack you for even saying that was okay to say. Like, that's how crazy we are now. Mm-hmm. You literally cannot say anything.
Yeah, like, I guarantee you anybody can break down anything I say to the point it says they can be like, well, this guy's this and this. You spend 5 minutes with me, you're going to realize that I'm not that person,
No, I just meant the comment you made about
no, right. And it's funny because, having a sister that is lesbian and stuff like that, I joke around with her all the time.
Oh shit, you just outed her?
Yeah, right, huh? It's one of those things that, like, I make jokes all the time, with her, but that's just the sense of humor that, I have with her.
But that's also her side.
Yeah.
That she's allowed that. Not everyone has that personality.
Yeah, but yeah. I think in any I don't know. I think like in any culture you should be able to
play your field.
Yeah, you have to play your field and stuff. So I think in anything you just can't take certain things serious. Like racism and stuff like that is one thing, but like
I don't think that's the right way of saying
it.
You can't take it serious. You can't be uptight about it.
No,
you can't be.
I think if
it is serious matter.
No, right. But I think if you have actually hate behind the words you're saying, that's where it carries into the point that it has it definitely, like, you should check somebody.
Oh, yeah.
But if you really don't have hate behind those words and you're just joking around, like, I'm a type of person that, like, jokes around, like
I would have never guessed.
right? I was Hunter even one day was saying that it's like, dude, Sal, it's like I've never seen you mad, never seen you angry and stuff like. Because it takes a lot for me. I'm always joking around. You know, even at work, I was telling somebody, I was like, imagine if I came in, I was like, hey guys, what's going on? You know, what are you doing? Everything good? All right, let's go ahead and get this done.
Out of 9 years, I think I've seen you angry once for sure that I can remember. Mm-hmm. Maybe twice. There's a twice, but I can't even remember the second one.
No, it's definitely just the one and stuff like that. But right, like
like angry to that next level. Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you get worn down with your day-to-day life? Mm-hmm. Yes. Frustrated, cranky, mm-hmm. whatever. Yeah, but that angry where like I'm gonna hurt someone angry. Mm-hmm. I think I've only seen like once.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm scared to see myself evolve into that step. I'm afraid of what I would do. You know, like I don't know what I would you know, that's scary to not even know where your level is, because I'm very
scary as in like what you would do, or scary of what it would take.
I think scary of what it would take. Obviously, I think my it factor, and I know that I would, you know, snap real quick if somebody hurt, like my family, definitely somebody did something to Zeke or something like. I think that would make me snap, mm-hmm. completely make me snap, mm-hmm. you know. So like when we were watching was it the cold cases, and the dad was like, oh, I would torture them, this and this, like that would be me, mm-hmm. you know, like I have that it factor to the point that I'm like, dude, you're dead to me, you know. And that's pretty quick for me, because like I said, like yeah, because I can just literally just like cut people out, and I don't have, you know, there's no care for me, because in a sense it's just like if I cut somebody out, then I cut somebody out.
You know? Scare me when you say that, because you sound like a other person that's
but
not that great.
Yeah, but I have my reasons though, right? You can honestly say that.
Let's continue.
Yeah, but you know, continue. Anywho, but yeah, no. But it does, like, you know, one of the factors that I did realize that having COVID was I was talking to somebody, a coworker, because she had it too, and she was gone for like a month. We kind of made a joke, and we're like, yeah, man, it's like, it's kind of weird, like we're trying to, you know, feel people out, and you don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable, right? You know, and like, but everybody at work, you know, everybody at work has just been so welcoming, and just kind of cool that it was like, hey man, what's going on, man? We missed you, this and this, and you know, good to have you back.
It definitely is though, like so-and-so's got cooties, basically.
Yeah, that's
for the record, Sal doesn't have herpes. We were just kidding.
All right.
But you know, even to take it a next step further is like, I've received the like, you're associated with the cuties kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even a tear down. I'm like, I'm too test negative.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the it factor right now. Like people are like, look at you and it's like, oh my God, you had COVID. Like I gotta, like, dude, like really, like realistically, people have to understand. Even if I tested positive or whatever, and I've been cleared, right? But you don't even know, because we had somebody test positive, had no symptoms at all, mm-hmm. nothing, mm-hmm. no flu, no nothing, you know, breathing, everything was fine. He tested positive, you know, so you might have it and you don't even know you have it, you know. You could be the spreader, you can be the carrier. Like, dude, you don't know. You're going out every single, whatever you do, as much as you say, hey, I'm gonna go home, I'm going to work, okay, that's fine. But what does that other person do? Are you touching a doorknob? Are you going to the gas station? You know, are you grabbing, you know, your doorknob? Are you really taking the full steps? It's impossible to take the proper steps to be protected, in a sense, you know. But you can't be protected, unfortunately. Like I think
the overall is it should leave you to live a cleanlier life. You know, wash your hands more.
Oh, you would think, right?
That kind of stuff. But the realistic.
I haven't. I wish. I'm back to my old ways again.
What's your next subject?
Oh, are we done with this conversation?
Yeah, I'm over your COVID.
Why?
If only you died, I'd be a lot richer.
I do have to say though, the people that did reach out to me was awesome to see. You know.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I reached out every day.
All right, no. And stuff, but it was pretty cool. Like people that did, which, dude, the word of mouth that goes around that like literally says.
Hey, speaking of that, Jared Tribuco, you are a gossip. The amount of people that turned out and were like, "Hey, Sal, you have COVID."
Right? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
The common denominator had to be you.
Yeah, it had to be.
Out.
Like there was like people like 3 people down. I'm like, how did you know? I don't even talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, Jason's like texting me. He's like, bro. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even talk to you, man. Like, how else would you know? But yeah, dude. So thank you, Jared, for that. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, but no, like people did reach out though, so it was pretty cool. Like
Mom
Tori,
asked how's Sal feeling. Tell Sal I said hi like every day.
That's funny, and it was funny though, cause like your mom, you know, your parents are up in age, and you know, everybody's biggest worry is, oh my god, you know, people that you know are up there in age, be careful and stuff like that. And after I was clear, and they knew I was clear, it was come down to the boat, let's hang out, you know, and it was awesome, and you know, and it is kind of cool though. So they took the risk, you know, even.
I mean, they didn't take the risk. You had cleared your procedure.
Oh, right.
Or not procedure, but you had cleared. You had whatever. You went through the doctors. I had cleared. You know, like I didn't. Thank God for Mom and Dad. You know, being up to the April 15th / July 15th deadline, you and COVID, it couldn't have been worse timing.
Right.
You know. Oh my God, were people out of control this year with slacking? Probably the worst tax season I've done in 9 years.
Really?
And I have a baby and a husband who's quarantined.
And that was the other thing though too, is that's what scared me, because even when I was feeling a certain way and I didn't even think anything of it, you know, I was still around Zeke. I was sleeping with Zeke and stuff like, you know, Zeke was around, and I could have easily passed it on to him.
You know what? Well, 2 things like I got from trying to get tested myself. No one wanted to test me. So I've talked to like 3 or 4 doctors, because when I initially did it, I reached out to like 3 or 4 doctors, and then it took days for people to get back to me. One, there's no general census, and this is the problem where we're at today in society with COVID, is there's no answer.
Right.
There's no like, if you check this box, then you need to proceed to this box in a checklist.
Right.
It's like, well, this has a flower and you could go to 1, 2, or 3. You know, there's no general thing. Even to the point of how you get tested. Why are some down the nose? Why are some you spit in a cup? Why are some up your nose? Like, everything is different.
Right.
But the general census that I got was, one, for the most part, kids are resilient to it and they're not worried about kids. And the second, and I don't know this one for sure, but I almost got a sense that they weren't even worried about the kids being the spreader.
Right.
That it didn't seem like even if the kid got it, 1, they would be okay, and 2, that they weren't really going to be the spreader. So that like made me a little better, you know?
Yeah, it was, that was a little, it was just weird though how everybody breaks it down and stuff like what's the point of even having a vaccination in a sense when, like, for example, like myself, like I got over it, right? Obviously, everybody's case by case. And people do die from the flu, right? But what was the point of even trying to push the vaccinations? Oh, people saying, well, it's going to come out in December, it's going to come out in January, it's going to come out, and I'm going to get the vaccination stuff. And I think I even had the conversation with your mom. It's like, well, you know, we had the conversation. It's like, I get it that it evolves. Flu evolves, you know, every year. So you always want to have a vaccination for it, you know, and this is another increase of it. But I'm like, well, you're realistically, like, you're still clear. Like, your body can recover from it. So you would think that they would come up with the best influence, or not the best influence, but the best, I guess, vaccination, the top one that says this part and this part's going to happen, so let's give them this, you know.
What do you think they're coming up with?
Well, no, I'm just saying,
I don't get what you're trying to say.
I don't understand why they're trying to push a vaccination that everybody needs to get vaccinated that would stop COVID, you know.
But it's the same as the flu. Like, they push flu vaccines, and tons of people get flu vaccines.
But people still die from the flu, though.
Yes.
Even that are vaccinated.
I know, but it lowers the odds.
Yeah. pick and choose that battle on that one though. But I don't know. Anywho.
So if there's a vaccine, you're not getting vaccinated?
Oh, I'm still gonna do it because I'm a sheep. So.
Oh, good. I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, I'm a sheep. I'm not. I understand that you can go into conspiracies, you can go into this, and things of that sort. But I'm a sheep at the end of the day. Like I understand that. I think I had the conversation with you too as well about it. Is, I can look at the world from the outside, out of the box, but at the same time, then I come back into the box because I got to come back into life. Like I got to really get back into here, and I got to go to work and stuff like that. And I get it that that's ridiculous to think that to go to work, come back.
Do you think your work could or would require people to get vaccinated? Could jobs require it, and would it be legal?
Could work do that?
Probably not.
Probably not. I don't think so.
Sounds like
I know schools.
Like a HIPAA violation.
Yeah, doesn't school
schools require vaccinations, or you have to be homeschooled. You can't go to school. Is my understanding.
Yeah, but you can do it that way too as well. But I think that's. I think work is kind of hard because you are getting paid to go to work.
But you also don't have to work for me. Yeah,
that's true. Well, yeah. Well, employers can, obviously, with you were saying with HIPAA and stuff like, what are the rules? That's going to be the biggest thing. How far what can you get away with without violating people's rights? Mm-hmm. So.
It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So we don't. Yeah, I think
But it's not like your work requires a flu shot.
Well, with our work right now, if you refuse to get tested, then we pretty much send you out. Or I don't even think I think you have to get tested, right now. That's a requirement. Yeah. So, anyhow, moving on.
Sure.
You good?
Sure. For now. Once we back.
What about kids going to school? Oh, well, the other thing is, Coach Fields' text today or yesterday was like, first practice would have started tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. So, yeah, it does suck actually.
So, are you guys gonna push it out till December and try in December?
No, they for my understanding, they decided just to shut down the program this year.
Completely.
Mm-hmm. Which is an interesting factor because. So there is other people that are still doing their programs, probably not, and I don't even know how big we really are, as a program, and I don't know how big other programs I don't understand what's a big program, because you do see these other programs that like Winter Circle and stuff like that are still running and stuff. And how do you still run a program? So you take those factors, like what do you really take in a factor? So I kind of was like texting Fields and I was like, do you really want to be that first program that a kid tests positive? How are you going to take that hit? Like, can the program take a hit?
And this goes to your question on school right now. Mm-hmm. To me, extracurricular activities, sports, programs like that cannot be in place until kids are back in school. If you're not willing to send your kid to school, you shouldn't the hell be willing to send your kid to football practice. Mm-hmm. Get your damn priorities straight.
Right, but that's just the world that we live in and stuff like that. There's kids literally still training right now. Even when parks are closed.
Training in big groups or training individually or training one-on-one.
Well, you have programs you see Winter Circle.
You probably should stop dropping their name.
It doesn't really matter, but that's just a huge program, which if you really think, and I'm just picking that program, but obviously there's other programs out there that are still doing the same thing, and are they taking precautions? Who knows? I don't know. I'm not part of the program,
Yeah.
And if they are, that's cool, because everybody has a procedure and a protocol, and I really, really hope that people do that and take that procedure and protocol to make sure that the kids are safe, which I would assume that they wouldn't put the kids in danger, right? Mm-hmm. But aren't you worried if you're the first program mm-hmm. that tests positive for a bunch of kids? Mm-hmm. Now you have that stigma of knowing that, hey, obviously I think people can get over it, but when you have that stigma saying, hey, we had so many kids that positive and stuff like that, because we had a group of people because.
I imagine that's a new liability form you sign.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That like that's what I was thinking for your program. If they were doing signups, like
Mm-hmm.
you just add a new liability thing in, you know.
Which and that's the other thing is
to COVID, and it's at your own risk that you come play football.
Even if I think somebody was saying like even if you sign that contract, people can say, hey, well, I wasn't aware of this is what you meant, or my kid got COVID. I don't even know, but you know how contracts work, and people, loophole status, and people can just say, well, my kid tested positive, but he tested positive. It just so that's what I was like talking to Fields about is like, he doesn't want to be that first program that tested positive. Period. We don't want that stigma.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we're following our procedures, protocols, and just build the program, in the safest way that we that he can.
Yeah.
So I think other programs are just taking the risk because they can.
Yeah. Because they're bigger and they maybe have better resources, more resources,
right.
more money, all of that.
And that's what it's really going to come down to. So it just sucks because a lot of our key players
go to high school next year?
Yeah, they go to high school next year. So it kind of sucks.
So back to school. So it's hard to have this conversation because we're not in that position. But if Zeke was of age to go to school, would you be sending your child to school?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do feel the same.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm even trying to push for him to go back to school right now. I think that kid needs to hang out with people his own age.
It kills me, like, the hybrid. Like, okay, so I get right now, California doesn't meet any of the requirements. California is going back to school virtually. But then, like, they have, like, different phases, basically, until they get full-time.
Right.
And from my understanding, everything changes every hour. But my understanding is, like, at some point, like, there's 3 options I know for Riverside. You could be homeschooled, you could be virtual learning, or you could be distant learning.
Right.
And basically, distant learning is everyone right now. But distant learning people are going to be people that wanted to go to on campus, but campus is closed, so now they're distant learning. Virtual learning, I think, is always going to be there, and then homeschool's just a different program. But one of the things is, like, for phase 1 is everything's distant learning. Phase 2, you'd go to school 1 day a week, and then, like, basically just keep going until 5 days a week. And my thing is, like, if you're exposed once, like, what's the difference of going 1 day versus 5 days? Like, if you're exposed, you're exposed.
Yeah.
And, like, that part just baffles me.
I think there's a lot of, like, holes in people's way of doing things. It's just like, dude, it's like...
But that's this whole general thing. There's no one's on the same page for anything.
It's just hard to do. And it does suck because I think a lot of these kids that even are just saying, are doing a virtual, schooling... Dude, these kids are not learning. Like, who learns from a screen, period? No. Who learns from a packet?
Yeah.
How are you going to learn from a packet or a screen? There's just no way.
That got me really excited just for a split second because in 5th grade, the teacher used to give us math packets, and you'd finish one packet, and you could move on to the next. And I love that.
Yeah, but also you're a math person. But,
No, but absolutely. You're building, I think the sacrifice... It's hard to say.
Oh, this is the reason why our education system is garbage, but whatever.
It's hard to say because if it's your child who gets sick and dies, then you'd be on a different position, But I think right now you're going to build a generation of dummies that will last a lifetime because no one is getting educated.
Yeah, because at the end of the day is these kids are our future. So what you're doing...
I saw some meme, and I wish I took a picture because it had something to do with, like, think about in 40 years, one of these kids that's distant learning is going to be your president or something like that.
That's exactly what it's going to be. And as long and here's my other thing though is I was actually going to bring up because it's a really really good conversation to have is how do you feel about people that have kids that are not married? Because it creates a hole in a sense because the base of your home changes, and I get it that marriage,
So you're just meaning kids out of wedlock?
Kids out of wedlock and, single parents in a sense too as well.
Okay.
So obviously people obviously don't okay it that, you're having kids out of wedlock, right? religious reasons and things in that sort, right? But it also it's a stability at home. You know, when you're guaranteed more, and I get that people get divorced. That's it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also there's a lot of steps to just get divorced, right? It's but if I'm just the baby daddy, it's easy for me to say deuces, I'm out. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's it's a simple factor. It's, you know, there's no contract involved. I can just step away.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So are you more like two people who are just like, for lack of a better word, saying hanging out, being like, oh, we should have a kid?
yeah, exactly. Like it's like, hey, we had a kid, or people that have unplanned kids in a sense. Which it's crazy. I was reading something that people that plan kids, women actually go into depression faster than women that don't plan their pregnancy. Like, you know,
It's probably a control thing.
mm-hmm.
Like, because if you plan your
Yeah.
pregnancy, you imagine this, and that's going to
Right.
be planned. Where if you don't, then you're a little more go with the flow.
Exactly. So, but yeah, no, I think it builds that stability at home, right? So you build a base, and this is going to be the argument people are going to say, well, I'm a single mom, and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm a single dad, or whatever it might be. But I think and this is just my upbringing. When you see two parents together, it does create a safe factor, you know, in the kid's eyes, and that's what I think. You know, you see a stable home, you know, and it's hard when you I think from a divorced family, or you know, having just a mom or dad raising the kids, the kid doesn't I don't think the kid really sees stability. And obviously I know I'm, you know, borderline. I like I can offend people on that.
Pretty sure you already offended a lot of people.
I know, but it's, and I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong,
I actually
you know.
have to disagree with you this on this. I think because I think you're building this.
I'm being devil's advocate at that end of the day, though, but
You or me?
I am.
You're being devil's advocate.
Yeah, because you know.
You're the one voicing that opinion.
I know, but I get that. But do I think that anybody can raise your, not anybody, but I think if you're an adult, like, because I'm around a lot of people that are single parents that, you know, raise their kids, and even one of them, we see eye to eye on how to raise a kid. So it just, you know, it was just something that was a conversation that I saw. That's why. But anyways, go ahead. What were you saying?
I think you're building this platform that you have to be married to have a kid, and which yes, that's.
I think stability, and it creates a better stability.
So if you had a young woman or a young male who made 100,000, worked 9 to 5, had great hours,
First
like
of all,
had
you're
a
gonna
home.
make a shit ton of money. You're working all the time. That just
No.
Yes, it is.
No, I'm building my imaginary person.
Okay, well, it's an imaginary. It's not realistic. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be realistic about it. You can't you can't live in la la land on that. That's all I'm saying.
I disagree.
Okay, so what? Please come with your argument. Like I want to understand what you're trying to tell me.
I'm telling you, if there's this single person who's got it all together, what makes them not be able to raise a kid on their own? What makes them so unstable?
Find that person and come talk to me.
Okay.
It's realistic. It's real. It's really, really hard to create stability when you're a single parent.
What's stability for you?
Stability is just, I think, in the kid's eye.
A parent that's going to come home each night, a house over their head, food on the table. What's stability?
I think a kid needs a mom and a dad, period. That's the stability I'm talking about.
But you're saying a kid can't have two dads. You're saying a kid can't have two moms.
Okay, that's a you're opening another can of worms, which and that's the argument that people will have. People will have it says, well, why can't
you're making
so check it out. So
I'm the devil's advocate.
So
this is your argument.
So here's my thing though, and a lot of people have brought this argument up is that, well, obviously, I think now we can maybe live in the world now. We can have two moms, we can have two dads, but we're in a time that you couldn't have two moms, you couldn't have two dads because, you know, kids will get picked on. You know, you have to, even now it's still kind of, you know, iffy, but a lot of these kids will get picked on, which, you know, if Zeke ever picked on anybody that, you know, had two moms or two dads, he would get his ass whooped, because it's, you know, that's not how we think. You know, but there is kids out there that will pick on you because it says, "Ooh, you got two daddies." You know, it's kind of weird. No, I get that. I know, I understand that, but it's you're literally creating that and stuff like it just and it's, I don't know, just seeing it, I being close to people that are going through a divorce, and, you know, that are technically single mom, single dad, whatever, you can see it, you know, and it's hard, and you can see kids struggle, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, do I think that kids that have a mom and a dad, and I'm just using mom and dad because it can be mom and mom, dad and dad, okay? So
I think you're stretching here. I think you need to back up. I think you need to stop.
Okay, I'm just, you know, it's just, I don't know. I think kids can, you know, it's one of those things that there is some kind of way, kind of mindset that I'm thinking.
I don't think stability. I think kids going through a divorce, or kids going through things, are always going to process things. I don't think it has anything to do with stability.
It does. It has everything to do with stability. When a kid sees stability, they feel safe. They feel guarded. They feel, okay, you know. I think that releases a lot of stress on a lot of kids and stuff like that. I think we don't realize what kids really see, you know, and what we're looking at and stuff like that. There's a lot of these kids.
Stability has to do with mom and dad living in one home.
I'm just using mom and dad, okay? I'm using mom and dad, but they need a stable factor here.
Damn, do I wish you could pause this.
Why?
Because.
Oh, you want to move on?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then. All right. All right.
Wait, I need one last clear thing.
Why? We're moving on. No, you already said we're moving on.
A single dad, a single mom, they can completely have stability, and you need to make that clear.
I get that. I get that. Okay? I'm fine with that. It's just that parent better have their shit together, is what I'm saying. But it's, I don't know, whatever. I'm moving on for a minute.
Back to the school thing. So I think the other.
I'm such a douche. Anyways, go ahead. I'm listening. What do you say?
You're not even recording this? Just kidding. I think the other thing to look at is, like, everyone's so worried about the economy. I feel like schools not opening is going to hurt the economy, because now the school, you don't need to go big old shopping because back to school clothes, you know? Yeah. You don't need as many, like, cool backpacks. So I think, like, ultimately, like, from my perspective, like, schools not opening is going to hurt the economy because of it.
Yeah. Well, it's hurting right now, so. But anyways, here to move on.
What else you got?
From our deep conversation.
No, you got me very heated, actually.
Oh, man. You didn't expect this one, did you?
You got anything else?
Anyways, all right, so. I'm going to blow up this one. Anywho, so what I told you about this, right? I was watching this video. I want to show you. Is that I was like, I don't know why, but I was going through Facebook, and I'm like, dude, this is where like a racist rally will come out of, you know? This is what a racist rally looks like.
Are you talking about your Canyon Lake stuff?
Yeah, dude. Oh, God dang it. Sorry. Who are you texting?
My boyfriend.
Okay, watch. So I need you to watch this. Ready? Alright, so this is the Like distance, like a
You make this?
no. This is a straight like. This is Canyon Lake. Just straight like it doesn't it make you feel uncomfortable like a straight rally. It's nice though, huh?
I don't even feel like Canyon Lake
Doesn't like it's.
like these someone like these people made this video on purpose.
Yeah. It straight up looks like.
Is Canyon Lake the data point of the Inland Empire?
I don't know, but it sure looks racist. It just makes me laugh.
So what makes you consider that racist?
It's not racist. I'm just.
No, I know, but what makes you think that looks racist?
Well, no, because obviously it's not racist at all. It's people that anybody that I guess in a sense waves a Donald Trump flag is racist.
That's what I thought.
And stuff like that. That's exactly what it is. It's has nothing to do with them being racist or anything like that. But I just thought it was funny because when people look at that, people would just assume that it's it's racist, So I just thought it was funny because I'm like, dude, this is a prime example of what people would think that it's racist and stuff like that,
White America.
Yeah, white America, which it is pretty freaking white over there. So it is some.
I don't know much about Canyon.
Yeah, Canyon, like you get some pretty rich people out there and stuff, but also you have your areas that are pretty shitty. Yeah, it's just I guess it's a nice gated community, So, yeah, I just thought it was funny. I was like, dude, I'm totally gonna have to show this to Maddie. I think your mom would get a trip out of that video. But, anywho, so the last couple segments. So I started some new segments, Florida or state. Which just means can you determine if it's either, because remember we're having a conversation.
If it happens in Florida or
Yeah.
a different state.
Yeah, exactly, because I know you were talking about that, like Florida's a shithole.
Yeah.
So, alright, so, sorry, my internet's kind of slow right now. Okay, okay, so, I'm gonna read them off, and then tell me what you think it's gonna be, Florida or state. So let me pull it up here. Okay. So man accused of groping a woman on a flight, telling authorities president said it was okay. Florida or other state?
Gonna go for other state.
No, Florida man said that. He said he groped a woman on the flight and said president said it was okay. I think it's in Florida. So here's my other one. Here's the one. Women dreams of eating engagement ring, waking up and finding she did. Florida or other state?
Other state.
California. The woman actually, she was sleeping that. I think she was saying that she was being chased by somebody, and she ate her ring.
Jeez.
Yeah. So.
Why do you keep setting it down?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what's the other one at here. Man tells deputies he wasn't drinking while driving, just at stop signs.
Florida.
Definitely Florida. Have you heard that one?
No, but that's most of it. So the one I listen to is like drunk or stupid, and then a lot of the stupid ones come out of Florida.
Oh yeah, some crazy ass people. Man promises, made in 1992 to split $22 million lottery winning with friend.
I think you told me this one. Isn't this true? For what state? Florida? Florida.
No.
No?
Other state. But that's pretty interesting though.
What's your other category? Your new segment?
So it was obviously that one, and then it was gonna be douchebag neighbor, but I haven't really. It's really hard actually to find any douches.
I told you.
It is. It's kind of hard. I tried to find things that it's not a douchebag neighbor, but is douchebag things people do. Mm-hmm. So the first one is stolen breakers. Like, who is stealing break? I told Isaac about this. Mm-hmm. I asked them, dude, they're stealing breakers in neighborhoods, and we were talking about it. Like, dude, you can't get any money from breakers. Breakers are cheap. They're not expensive. Like, I can understand that people are pulling wire, but it's.
Are they pulling wire though, and people just don't know it?
No, it's literally just breakers. It's you know how hard is it just to pull wire? You know, so what are you gonna pull? You're gonna get this much wire? Like, you're not gonna get anything out of it.
Yeah, but they're a criminal to start with.
No, exactly. So pulling breakers, like, come on, dude, you're just being a douche at that point.
Yeah.
So I just, that was one of the big. I'm like, dude, seriously, people selling breakers? Come on now. So.
Well, they agreed with that.
The other one would be. So it says, hi. I live in Blaine Street across from the Mormon church. There's a Mormon church somewhere?
On Blaine, I guess.
Yeah. Someone's dog won't stop barking. It's 2 a.m. and I can't sleep. Please control your dog. Some of us still need to go to work.
What was your complaint?
Well, first of all, I was more just trying to figure out where is there a Mormon church? Obviously on Blaine Street, but I didn't know there was a Mormon church nearby.
I'm gonna have to look for it now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, no. If your dog's barking, bro, shut it down. I
know someone that filed a complaint.
On us?
No.
Our dogs are pretty good, actually.
Yeah, as long as they're separated from other dogs.
Yeah. What is your dog complaint?
Because they would leave the dog out at night and the dog would just cry all night. And then so they did a formal complaint, and I think I could be making this up. I wanted to say they went to court, but
how do you do I want to do a formal complaint on a couple of people in this neighborhood.
You figured out you can do it.
Yeah, I want to do that one.
I'm not helping you with it.
You need to let me do a formal complaint on those douches over there, and then the people that I don't know who it is. I honestly, I cannot wait until I see that the trailer parked out there, because I'm like, what douchebag is doing this? Mm-hmm. Like, you got to be the biggest tool to, if you live in the neighborhood and you're parking your trailer, right on the outskirts over here, you're just a douche. Like, what mindset do you have that you're literally thinking that, that it's okay to do that?
So there's no I've been working for 48 hours, I'm home for 12, I just need to park my trailer so I can get back on the road so I can earn some money for my family. Nope.
Go find somewhere to park that. This is a community. It's just ridiculous, we all have work. We all have responsibilities and stuff like that. You have a responsibility to go put that trailer somewhere else where it actually needs to be. If you think it's okay to put it in front of, your neighborhood, so all you're doing is driving the property down, right? Because now we have to deal with seeing your trailer and seeing things come on, man. I don't give me the whole, well, I'm just I worked a whole bunch. No, there's places that you can rent that you can go ahead and park these things at,
which is down the street probably.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, you good?
Wait, I got a couple douchebag neighbors.
Oh, what's your douchebag?
People that leave their Christmas lights up all year. And then...
Didn't somebody put one up that just moved in or something like that you saw?
I don't know that they just put them up, but Christmas lights turned on in the middle of July.
I think that's been going on for years. I think everybody's just a douche at that point.
Leaving Christmas lights up?
Yeah, I think that's just a bad factor for years. The Hispanic thing.
Laziness.
It's a Hispanic thing.
To leave them up all year and turn them on?
Why take them down? It's gonna be Christmas right around the corner.
Okay, Dad.
I love it because you guys do the whole like nail. Yeah, you guys do the whole nail thing, so you just have to just rope it, and so it's easy to take off. But like, I honestly like.
Just so you know, you're putting up Christmas lights this year.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You are.
No, really? It's a 2-story house.
Who cares?
Oh my god. Anyway, what's your other douchebag?
The people freaking collected shit in their front yard. Move that shit to the backyard.
That's what I'm trying to make my civil complaint for.
You just pointed, and I needed to make
What's that? What's that address?
I don't know.
What's that street?
Spring Street.
Yeah, Spring Street. Well,
If you're the douche on Spring Street renting a home,
move that shit.
get rid of all the crap in your
It's
driveway.
ridiculous. Honestly, a part of me wants to knock on the door and say, dude, what's up with your guys' shit? You know?
You don't think that they haven't got complaints already?
Oh, I guarantee you they have.
Yeah.
They just don't do it. Like, what?
They're obviously like people renting
I get
that
that.
house.
If somebody can tell me how to process this, like how to, like, make a change, like, there has to be some, right?
But I don't know that they're breaking anything.
They're not breaking any rules.
Yeah, so how do you change it?
I don't know.
The only change is being HOA.
Yeah. Or just start tagging up their shit. That's the best way to do it. Start messing with their stuff. Maybe they'll stop.
See, I believe in karma, though.
What? You think people are going to start messing my shit?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. We live on such a weird street. They always come up in here and stuff, so.
I believe in karma.
We live under a street light.
Stop telling people where we live.
All right, dude. I live Anyways, fuck those douches. Anyways, you're done? You good?
No.
Good to go? You still heated? You still mad at me?
I'm still mad at you.
No, whatever.
I feel
It's
like
fine.
you need to clear your subjects.
I'm just okay. Not okay. Whatever. I think I proved my point.
You didn't prove any point.
I think I said my piece on it,
Okay.
and we need to move forward. My beliefs are my beliefs. I just had a conversation with your dad. Respect my beliefs. I respect your beliefs. You know, I'm not saying my beliefs are right. I'm not saying your beliefs are right. Normally times my beliefs are right.
No, I'm telling you, your beliefs are not right.
I'm just saying, not everybody's perfect. So, you good?
Whatever. Peace out. See you next Tuesday.
Alrighty, guys.